Well, hey there, fellas. My name is Metro, and today we're going to be taking another look at a Pokemon fan game, alright? Another review, this time on Pokemon Rose, alright? Now, I recently did a live stream playthrough of this, on Halloween, actually, and it was pretty cool. I enjoyed myself, but we have a lot to talk about, alright? So let's get right into it. As always, all these criteria will be down in the description below, so you could follow along if you prefer, alright? First things first, Pokemon list and availability. It's apropos that this is number one on the list because this is absolutely the number one issue I had with Beta 1. Now, I completely understand that, that was the first iteration of the game, and this has active iterations to come. But at this point, it was pathetic. Nothing personal here, man, but there was literally, felt like no effort to put in any actual good Pokemon. Even when I completed the game, I basically had a Gen 1 like fire red team. You know what I mean? It was terrible. After two gyms and about 4 hours of playing, I had no interesting Pokemon. Now, I don't know if that's what people were saying. Like, maybe it's because in the beginning you can pick which 3 starters you want to choose from. So by like choosing Professor Oak coming to visit, you got to pick those 3. So that's pretty cool. That's a cool innovation. You can pick any of the first, I believe, 3, maybe even 4 gens. I can't recall. But you pick the professor that comes to visit your town, and then he brings 3 Pokemon with him. So people were saying, like, maybe that's why every Pokemon in the game was Gen 1. But I don't know. I couldn't say. So as of that one, I'd say 0 out of 10 for sure. No effort put in. Next up, music. All right. And music, we're just going to say not applicable because the music was not any different, I don't believe. I didn't hear any original tracks. And the thread on the forums does say if anybody wants to make music for the game, let me know. So I assume that means there is nothing special. So not applicable. Sprites and Tiles. I made the mistake of playing the female character. Not that that's a bad thing, but the male character actually had a very, very cool sprite. And when I went back and checked it out a second time, I was very impressed by that. So the tiles themselves aren't anything, like, they're not vastly different, but the game does look pretty cool. A lot of the areas, like the towns especially, the routes don't look cool, but the towns do look cool. So I'd say, I'd give this a good 7 or 8 out of 10 here. The sprites especially, the player sprite was very interesting, all right? Now, difficulty, obviously a sticking point for me. This game was not in any way difficult, but there was simply way too many battles. This was artificial difficulty at its finest. The game took me over 4 hours to beat 2 gyms, which I am, like, it's just absurd to even sit here and think about, especially in a game like this when it was basically just vanilla. Like, it was fire red, just with some different areas, and there was just, like, thousands of trainers. So if there's one complaint I have about that, about the difficulty, quote unquote, it's that you cannot put that many trainers in the routes, man. That's got to change. And next up is length of time and effort. Okay. And like I just said there's really just no correlation between the two. There was hardly any effort put in, but it took forever. There was at least 10 trainers per route, which I think is absurd. And you couldn't skip any of them. Trust me, I tried my hardest. There was no way to skip them. And towards the end, I basically just used a walk through walls code to get through them because I was just trying to finish the game. And there was like 15 trainers between like the proxy town and the second gym town. And I was just like, I'm done. This has been 4 hours already. I can't do this. So yeah, that's not, I don't like that at all. So hopefully that doesn't come off as bias, but yeah, that's just the way it's got to be. Now, puzzles. There wasn't really puzzles per se, but like the areas that you had to traverse were cool, and there's some like optional side stuff, which is actually a lot of effort has been put into it. Now, I haven't personally gone through great lengths to try them, but I've seen pictures and a small amount of issue I've had with it. So I would say that the puzzles are pretty unique, especially for a ROM hack. Usually these ROM hacks, they don't actually have puzzles. They just have the vanilla games type, like progression, and they leave puzzles out. But yeah, this was pretty good. And there's some innovation there. So I would definitely say that the work he's putting in on these, like, kind of backside stuff, like non-story puzzles, they're quite good. So I would definitely say 8 out of 10 for that. The story is actually quite interesting. There's a whole thread on the Poker community, which is in the description as well. But yeah, it details the entire story up to this point. And when I sat down and read it, I was like, wow, this is gonna be great. I can't wait to play this. But unfortunately, how it's like played out in the story of the game, it just doesn't work as well as it looks written down. So this guy's actually, I mean, this is a good thing, right? This is usually the issue people have problems with. They don't know how to write a story. They know how to script a story, but they don't know how to write a story. So he's the opposite. He has devised a very engaging and interesting story. But the events in the game are so sporadic and like walled behind thousands of trainers that they're hard to get into. So if you could fix that type of immersion, I guess is what you would call it, then this would be a great story. And I would definitely say 10 out of 10. I mean, it's obviously not finished, so we can't say where it's going to end. But as of beta 1, I was pretty impressed with the ideas already, you know. Replayability, just not applicable. We're only through 2 gyms. There's no real reason to replay it. But I will say this. There's a Halloween demo. So if you guys are watching this recently, I would definitely have checked that out. It was awesome. I checked it out as well. And it allows you to test the next betas, some of the next beta stuff. So beta 2, when that comes out, all the stuff in the Halloween demo would be in that. So you're able to just kind of walk around. You get like a bunch of level 50 Pokemon just in case you battle something. And you can even actually catch Pokemon that somehow the save will remember when you start the next beta. So that is outstanding. I'm really impressed with that. And I enjoyed the Halloween patch thoroughly. So that's got to go in the replayability part because, that is actually a second load of the game for me. It just happened to take place elsewhere. Now, Convincing Evil Team, this is an interesting topic as always. I actually like this one a lot because he combined all the teams. He's brought them all together. We don't know why they're all together yet, but that is really cool. So 10 out of 10 for that. Convincing Evil Team. He didn't even try to make up his own. He just brought all the old teams together, which I think is awesome. Let's see. Trainer, random battle density. Oh, yeah, this is really where it should be. I don't know why I was talking about it earlier, but yeah. The trainer and random battle density is absolutely absurd. Even the random battle density is way too high, and especially because it's every time it's a Caterpie, It's sad. It really is sad. You never see a cool Pokemon. I sat there for 4 hours, never caught a single Pokemon. Pikachu was like the most rare Pokemon that I was able to catch, and that's saying something. So not a big fan of that. And the trainers, oh no, 0 out of 10 there. There's no reason there should be that many trainers. I don't know what you're thinking. Player characters' impact on the story. Can't really say. Not available. We'll just go with not available because, like I said, so little of the game story is out. It would be silly for me to judge an entire... this is a criteria that you have to see the end game, right? So we won't say anything of that. Basic cheating capacity, once again, that's not applicable. This is a Fire Red ROM hack, so every Fire Red cheat does indeed work for it, including walk through walls, which I absolutely did. If you guys watched the stream, you saw that. All right. Convenience and world travel, gonna say not applicable because there's only 2 routes. But I think there was actually a way to get back. I didn't have to worry about it. So typically that would mean that it's not very important or good. But since there's only 4 towns that you go through and 2 gym badges, it's not really. There's nothing to even talk about. So we'll just say not applicable for now since there's so actual little travel that needs to be done. Innovations, unfortunately, as of currently, just nothing. The one, I'd say the 1 out of 10 part of it is being able to choose 3 sets of starters in the beginning. You can choose, like I said, Professor Oak, Professor Elm, anything like that. And those Pokemon come and you can pick them. So that's actually, that's an innovation. But that's literally the only thing that I was happy with. Almost nothing else in the game seemed any different. In fact, I played through it all and I literally thought it was just Fire Red with the tiles mixed up. And when I started walking through the walls and breaking the game a little bit there, you actually saw the old routes still there. So yeah, it's no surprise, ROM hack, whatever. It was pretty well done. So other comments and conclusions, I'd say, I was satisfied with this, especially knowing that this is the beta 1, you know what I mean? There's a lot of iterations still to come on this, so I'm pretty excited for that. But hopefully he can take constructive criticism and learn from it because I see a lot of these ROMs, I play these ROMs, and they don't actually pay attention. And I've done some, and people listen to every word that people say, and they change things just for them. So that's what needs to happen here. There's no way, I can't see how anybody is satisfied with the amount of trainers in that. And I certainly can't see how anybody would be satisfied with the lack of diversity in Pokemon list. So if those two things get fixed, and the story continues to progress as you've already written it out, then I think this is going to be an A-plus title, but obviously he has to finish it. So here's hoping he does. Thanks for watching, guys. If you have any questions about Pokemon Rose, let me know. Otherwise, we'll see you guys in the next review.